Hey there, welcome back to the Free Black Women's Library YouTube channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. Thank you so much for liking this video. Thank you so much for subscribing to the channel. Appreciate all of that love and support that y'all are giving me in this moment and throughout the life of this whole project. Thank you to my patrons over at Patreon who support the Free Black Women's Library with their dollars each and every month. I appreciate y'all so much. It is because of you that this work is able to grow and thrive in the way that it is. Thank you to the people who have subscribed to the channel and come back to my videos again and again each week, giving me those likes, leaving me these awesome, thoughtful, brilliant comments. Y'all are amazing. We are getting close to the finish line for this amazing, incredible series. How many times can I say amazing? HBO series written, produced, directed, and starring the brilliant and amazing Michaela Cole, right? Michaela Cole, based on a true-to-life experience of Michaela Cole's. Woo, so good. I mean, this show is like one giant trigger warning, and this episode especially for me was a lot. It was intense. It was hard, but it was also really good, as are all the others. Let's get into it. Episode 10, it's called The Cause and the Cure. Now, I'm going to try my best to not do a scene-by-scene recap. I seem to be addicted to that process, but I'm gonna try something a little differently here, and I do have some notes that will hopefully help me speed it along. But basically, the opening teaser, it starts out and we see Bella and her brother, and she looks to be maybe about 7 or 8, and she's sitting there. It's like 10 o'clock at night, and her brother's like laying asleep on the couch, and she's sitting there all waiting, looking all super cute, you know, cute little hairstyle happening, waiting apparently for their dad to take them to McDonald's. Dad shows up late with a bag of McDonald's fries, pretending like, oh, that's not what he meant. I didn't say I was gonna take you to McDonald's. I said I was gonna bring you McDonald's, but I'll take you to McDonald's next time. The Cause and the Cure. So we get why this episode is called that, right? Because we're basically seeing the reasons why Bella is the way she is. And it's deep, this whole thing about how the way your parents raise you, the way you witness your parents interact, the way your family foundation is set up is part of what determines the type of friendships you have, the type of lovers you have, the type of situations you get yourself into, because these are the people who model what being in a relationship look like. These are the people who model honesty, accountability, vulnerability, intimacy, respect, all these different things. You know, these are your first teachers, your parents, right? And so now we get to find out why Arabella, part of the reason Arabella is the way she is because her father is a manipulative, lying, two-timing, gaslighting fuckboy, right? So now we know why she was so deeply into the fuckboy named Biagio. Now we know why she is so into this friendship that she has with Simon, who is also a fuckboy. We get to see it. We get to witness it in this very first scene, because he shows up with these fries in this ratty little bag, and you see her inhaling the fries, and the way she's eating them, it's almost like she's trying to fill up that emptiness, you know, that brokenness, that hurt. She's trying to fill it up with this food. And it's a ritual that she's done again and again and again. How do we know that she's done this repeatedly? Because her mom shows up right on cue with the paper bag ready for her to throw up. That same bag that he used to bring those fries is the same bag she threw up in, all right? So we get the whole story in that very first scene, credits roll, and then we find Bella's in her bedroom, and she has that jacket that Simon gave her the night of her assault, and she's looking at it and she's remembering back, oh yeah, this belongs to Simon. This is when it all began. Her father calls her on the phone. They have a little back and forth, and he sounds like, you know, he's kind of like a sarcastic, kind of full of shit type of person. It turns out it's her mom's birthday, and she's like reminding him, don't forget, today's mom's birthday. He tries to act like he forgot, and it really wasn't funny, but she's like, Terri's there. She's getting ready for an audition with Ben. And then Arabella comes out the room, and Terri's practicing. She's working on her lines. And Terri's like, oh, you're gonna come with me to the audition. And Bella's like, yeah, I don't have that much going on today. She's taking a break from her writing to help her write. That kind of does make sense when you overly involve yourself into getting something done. Sometimes stepping away from it will help you like develop some clarity about that thing. So I understand, even though Terri is like, why are you taking a break from writing? How does taking a break from writing help you write? I get it. So anyway, Terri's auditioning, and this is when we get to learn that Terri is so close with Bella that she's got Bella's mom's phone number in her phone, and not only that, but she knows how to speak Twi. Now, from what I read about the Terri character, she's actually supposed to be Caribbean, and Bella is, as we found out last week, African. So the fact that Terri knows how to speak Twi, and Terri has Bella's mom's number in her phone goes to show you another example of how close their friendship is and how sweet it is and how connected they are, right? Because Bella's like, oh, I don't have much going on today. It's just my mom's birthday, so we're going to have a dinner for her later. And Terri's like, oh, it's mommy's birthday? Terri calls mom, happy birthday, auntie. So African. So African, so black, so Jamaican, so Caribbean, so cultural. Such a black woman, black girl, black person moment. Happy birthday, auntie. Ben jumps into the phone and he's like, happy birthday, auntie. I'm like, okay, Ben, you know the drill. And so, you know, Arabella jumps in the phone, happy birthday, mommy. So it's the three of them. And Bella's mom is like, oh, look at you. You look at y'all. And she's looking at them like, my beautiful babies, you know? And Terri's wishing her a happy birthday. Bella says, what time is dad coming by? Girl, here you go. You're like a grown-ass woman and you're still sweating this man. Like, you've been sweating this man since you was 7 and he ain't paying you no fucking mind. Hello, ring a bell? See a pattern? What time is dad coming? Mom says around 5. And Bella's like, okay, good. Like, that's when she plans on being there. Meanwhile, it's your mom's birthday, but you're still obsessing about your dad? Okay, Bella. Anyway, you'll get it together soon enough. So, you know, we go over to the audition, and then we head over to Bella's mom's house, and they're cooking. And I'm just kind of like frustrated because why is it that it's Bella's mom's birthday, but she's slaving in a kitchen making a meal for the family? Like, when I say that this whole series is one giant trigger warning, I'm sure y'all know what that means. But this specific episode right here, I was like, it is her birthday and she is busting her ass in the kitchen, you know? The kids are helping, of course, doing their little things like chopping peppers and slicing plantain. But she's like slaving, you know, she's got her little bonnet on, her house clothes. Meanwhile, over in another part of town, Simon is in full grinder champion of sex mode. He's just hooking up back to back to back with dudes. He hooked up with like 3 different dudes back to back. And it was so deep that he was in the midst of ending each hookup and on his phone looking for the next hookup while that hookup was leaving. You understand? Like, Simon, you're not even finished with the dude he's just putting his pants on and you're already looking at your phone. That don't make no sense. Like, you really need to chill, okay? This light is kind of dark. Let me see if that helps. How's that? Is that cute? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Anyway, so I'm like, all right, Simon, like, you're really doing too much. Like, you're at the gym, you're on the bus, and you're putting yourself in these situations, hopefully you're using condoms like you were before, and you're not just out here willy-nilly. And there's an emptiness inside you that you're trying to fill up. And just like little baby Bella was trying to use those fries to fill up the emptiness, it is my belief that Simon is using these sexcapades to fill up the emptiness. He's not enjoying them. You know, maybe in the very first couple episodes, I was kind of like, oh, he's just exploring. He's just having fun. But no, at this point, he's on some other shit right now. And it's not good. It's not good. So let me make sure I didn't forget anything. Okay, so it's working on editing. So let's see how this goes. But before we get to Auntie's house, Auntie Mummy, for the birthday festivities, we see that Bella has walked Terri to her audition, given her a nice little affirmation, ego boost. You're going to be amazing. You're going to do great. And then she goes to meet Simon in the park to give him back his sweater. And I thought it was very interesting that Bella didn't tell Terri, I'm going to meet up with Simon, considering she met Simon through Terri, and considering that neither one of them has spoken to Simon in months, right? And I think deep down, Bella knew that Terri was mixed up in all of the sexual assault mess in some way. I think that there have been moments when Bella was trying to drop hints and pull it out of Terri by saying certain things, talking about, the horribleness of being a liar and keeping a secret, especially in last week's episode when Bella went off on both her and Kwame, and Terri said to Kwame, oh, why did you tell her that you were gay? And Bella said the idea of keeping that a secret, the idea of lying wouldn't have been better. It wouldn't have been a good thing. And there was something about her language that she used in that moment that kind of gave me the impression that Bella knew something else was happening, but they never really got into it. So Bella meets up with Simon in this park, and it turns out that Kat has kicked him out the house since that same night that she met Alyssa probably just exposed the whole deal. So not only has he been kicked out of Kat's house, but he's also been fired from his job because people keep showing up there. I'm not sure who that is. I don't know if it's Terri or if it's been Bella or if it's been the police. Either way, I'm not going to use the word karma, but everything Simon got, Simon deserved, because he was also a piece of trash. He was also a fuckboy, just like Biagio, just like Bella's father. And somehow she is forgiving and absolving him of all guilt. She gives him back his sweater and asks him if he's angry at her. And he says, no. Are you angry at me? And she says no, but she was at one point. And that's when Simon lets the cat out of the bag, supposedly accidentally, but I feel like it was on purpose. Lets the cat out of the bag about how Terri is the one that told him to leave Bella that night. Not only did Terri tell him it was okay to leave her, but Terri also convinced him to lie later on and say that he had actually put her in a cab or taken her to work, and he just went along with it. So it's actually on her, double L's on her, mistake on him. And it was a very cowardly move to just throw Terri under the bus like that. It was completely unnecessary. Although I do think it's good that Bella got that truth. I wish that it had come from Terri and not from Simon, and definitely not in that way, where he still tried to act like You know, he was just doing what he was told and he didn't know any better. Like, you're a grown man, Simon. You're the reason why she was out. You gave her cocaine and you left her in a bar alone. So, you know, you're trash as well. And it just shows a kind of a pattern that in terms of how Bella is. And I feel like she could have at least told him something more, but the scene just cut right then and there. And that's when we land in Mummy Auntie's house with all the cooking going on. Terri calls. Bella declines the call. Terri's probably calling to talk about her audition and maybe see how things are going with the birthday dinner. But Bella doesn't want to talk to her, probably based on this new information from Simon. And, you know, I'm a little bit annoyed, as I said, with the fact that Mummy is doing all this cooking for her own birthday. And so the food is ready. Bella and her brother are sitting on the couch and they're waiting for Dad to show up. The doorbell rings and this woman comes in, Auntie Lenora. Auntie Lenora comes in. Bella doesn't really know who she is. She can't really place her. She doesn't really remember her. And her brother is like, that's Auntie Lenora. That's Mom's friend. You know, you never remembered anything. You never retained anything. All you did was play on your Game Boy. Bella says, my brain is like Diet Coke, very light. And it's like, you know, we might say, oh, Bella's a space cadet. Bella's an airhead. Bella's not very grounded. We might say all these different things as to the reason why she's not holding on to these people and these memories and these moments. But the fact is that there's so much pain attached to these moments. There's so much disappointment, frustration, confusion, sadness, fear attached to these different moments within her childhood, trauma, that she's disassociated, right? She blocks it out, she forgets it, she pushes it back, or she disassociates. You know, she separates the depths of who she is from that moment, from her body, and just keeps the shell of herself there. You know, it's a coping mechanism, especially for children. You know, when it comes to functioning in harsh situations, that's how they protect themselves, is they remove the essence of themselves from the situation and they just do the bare minimum to get by. So this is what Bella has done. She hasn't even tried to learn Twi, which is her family's native language. And let me tell you something, it was really, really cool to see characters speaking Twi on a TV show. This is a dialect spoken in Ghana. And I don't think I've ever seen maybe have seen people speak Yoruba on American non-African show, maybe. But this is definitely the first time I've seen people speak Twi. And that was really, really cool. So it's a beautiful language. So, you know, Auntie Lenora saunters in and she's weird. Like, her energy is weird. She's there for like 5 seconds. It's like a birthday visit. She's dropped a gift off for the birthday girl who saunters in looking all cute. She's got her hair done. She's got her wrap dress on. She's giving you African auntie in full, you know, she's giving you full African auntie, okay? Looking cute. And her son bigs her up like a good son should. And Auntie Lenora hands over a gift and then she leaves. Weird short gift. And Bella's brother is teasing her like, you know, you were just always in your Game Boy. Like, that's all you cared about. You just like didn't learn Twi. And meanwhile, I wanted to know what the grown-ups were saying. That's why I made it a point to learn the language and I paid attention to what was going on. So then we have another flashback to them as kids where Bella's in her Game Boy and they're still around the same age, 7, 8, whatever. And, you know, the father is once again being super disappointing. You know, he's supposed to take him to McDonald's or whatever. It's like a mess. Auntie Lenora comes by, same woman, younger version. A really great casting of the actresses. And she looks at the kids and she's speaking to the mom in Twee, like, you know, what's going on? Like, and the mom's like, their dad's supposed to come take them to McDonald's for lunch, and it's now way past dinner and he still hasn't shown up. And the auntie's like, oh, you know, tisk tisk. She leaves, and oh, her energy is so creepy and weird. But either way, back with Kwame. He has a new date on Grindr, Tyrone, who's an absolute dream. He makes him a mojito. He cooks him this fly-ass meal. That was like salad on that plate, corn. It looked like some pasta and some chicken. That plate was looking good, okay? So he comes in the room where Kwame's sitting on the bed, and he says to Kwame, "You're gorgeous," as he hands him the plate of food. And Kwame like holds on to the food, like, what the fuck am I supposed to do with this? And he puts it on the bed, which made me crazy. Food on the bed is disgusting. I mean, I guess people have like food play with sex and stuff, but I don't know. I'm not into that. So he puts the food down. He's like, "So what are you going to do about how gorgeous I am?" And the dude's like, "Just look at you for now. Drink that mojito and eat this plate. That's all that's going down." And Kwame's like, "Oh, so you just trying to waste my time? Like, Grindr's for sex. And why are you on Grindr if that's not what you're about?" And homeboy's like, "I put on my profile that I was looking for fun. This is fun. Us eating together and having mojitos is fun to me." And I agree with you, Tyrone. Okay? I like you. You were a cutie and you can cook. Hey, I was like, "Kwame, don't play yourself and leave right now because this is a keeper." So Tyrone's like, "Well, this is all I'm into doing right now. So if you're not into that, I guess you could leave." And Kwame gets up and acts like he's about to go. And then he realizes that that would be a mistake. So he stops and he looks like he's about to cry again and says, "I need a hug." And Tyrone holds him and hugs him, rubs his head. Intimacy, vulnerability, kindness, patience, gentleness, softness, listening. These are the things that Kwame's been needing. These are the things that Kwame's been wanting. These are the things we all want, right? A place to feel safe, a place to feel whole, a place to feel cared for, to feel considered. Somebody's gonna ask you, "How's your day? Where have you been? What's going on? Are you hungry? Here's some food." Come on. Come on. Come on. Woo. Woo. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Ooh, I'm sorry, y'all. I got my sage. That is a beautiful thing. And that was a beautiful moment. And I was very happy for Kwame in that moment. I was very happy he didn't leave. And I know that food tasted good. Okay? So meanwhile, back at Auntie Mummy's house, mom, daughter, son, sitting at the table. It's way past 5, okay? Hours past 5. And we're waiting for Dad to show up for Mommy's birthday meal. Son is like, "Food's gonna get cold." "Oh, we'll just heat it in the microwave." How dare you put some home-cooked African food in the microwave? How dare you make that happen? Daddy, Kojo, trash. Dad is trash. Brother's hungry, brother's tired, brother's annoyed. He sneaks into the kitchen. He wants to go eat some plantain. He goes and he has a piece of plantain. Finally, Daddy shows up. Whew. Everybody sits at the table. Go put this in a microwave. Let's eat. So they're all eating, and Daddy starts to do that thing, which is slightly abusive in a really subtle way. Starts picking on the son because he's kind of buff. So he's like, oh, don't spend all your time working out. When I was your age, I had an apartment, I had a car, I had this and that. I wasn't just all about muscles and lifting weights and stuff and, you know, being in school. And the son's like, listen, I'm in school part-time because I have to work, all right? And Mom's like, yeah, he's doing great. I'm really proud of him. And he's like, I'm just saying that when I was your age, I wasn't still living at home. You know, your sister left home when she was 19 or 17 or whatever. You're still living with your mom and stuff. So he's like kind of teasing him, kind of putting him down, but in a joking way. The son goes into the kitchen. He starts fighting the air. And then we get to find out that when Bella was like 14, when her and Terri were kicking it hardcore, her parents lived separately. I mean, they still live separately, obviously, but Bella used to sneak into her father's house, sneak into the window to get things because he never gave her a key. Okay? Now, not only is he manipulative and a gaslighter and a liar and a piece of trash father who does the absolute least for his children and the mother of his children, but he didn't even give his own daughter a key to get into his place. And we come to find out why. It's because he was fucking Auntie Lenora in that house, right? Bella sneaks into the house because she wants to change to look cute for some boys, and she finds Auntie Lenora there, half naked, with her underwear on the dryer, on the radiator. Girl, if you don't get your life together, like, at least hang it in the fucking bathroom. Or, like, come on, you don't, like, that's how nasty y'all are. Like, that's what type of, like, pathetic little hookup this is you can't even, like, you don't even have a drawer there that you can, like, change your underwear. Like, you need to, like, wash your underwear and hang it on the radiator. Yeah, I'm judging, you know. I'm not anti-hanging clothes on the radiator. I'm just talking about significance. Like, once again, this show gives us these, like, subtle visual cues in the story that add more depth to the story. Because if that's how you're washing and drying your underwear in this space, it's like, y'all just, y'all know what I'm trying to say. Anyway, so Bella runs out and leaves. She doesn't even change. And this is the thing that causes Bella's house to get robbed and for them to steal his car. Good and good. Too bad. You know, these people in this car, they see Bella going into the house through the window and coming out through the window. So they find out that that's like a really easy way to get things out of that place. So, you know, the dad is like, oh, it was because of you that they robbed me, because of how you used to sneak in and out the house. They saw you, and oh, you little tyrant, you know. And the mom's like, but it was in the past, so why are we talking about that? And he's like, oh, I'm just you know, just making conversation, ha 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 ha. You know, and there's like this undercurrent of meanness and bitterness and resentment towards Bella for what happened, but he's trying to make it seem like it's a joke. So that flashback causes Bella to leave the table because it all comes rushing back, right? She realizes that the reason why her dad got robbed is because of her sneaking into the house. The reason why his car was stolen is because she got seen sneaking into the house because they stole the keys. And she realizes that her father was having an affair with Auntie Lenora, the woman that had come by earlier that she didn't remember. And she realizes that her dad has basically been letting her mom and her entire family down for his entire life because he's been cheating on her mom and he's never lived with her mom. So she leaves the table, she goes into her bedroom, and she's upset. Her mom rushes in, says, "Are you okay?" She says, "Mom, is Auntie Lenore your friend?" And she says, "Yes, I know. She knew about the affair. You know, she's your dad's plaything, and it's fine. I'm sexy, I'm cute, and all I care about is my children." Okay, Auntie, keep telling yourself that. It's true, you are sexy and you are cute, but you know that you are hurting as a result of this man treating you the way he's been treating you for your entire relationship. You know that you are hurting because this woman, who is technically supposed to be one of your very good friends, has been fucking your man this whole time. You know that you are hurting and that you are co-parenting with someone who's doing the absolute least for your children. Trigger, 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 trigger warning. I'm not going to tell you all my business, but I can relate to Bella's mom just a little bit. Anyway, so she says, "Mom, I have to tell you something that happened to me in January," and that's it. The camera goes to the next scene where we see everybody is back at the dinner table and they're sitting down, and Bella's dad says, "Are you okay?" And she doesn't respond. She doesn't say yes, she doesn't say no. She asks him if he wants some more food, and you know, he says yes. So she serves him some food, and then she gives him this weird little hug where she snuggles his neck. And the mom is just sitting there, kind of like eating, thinking. And it's much later at Ego Death Bar. We have Terri and Bella at the table. This scene was so beautiful and so poignant. Bella says, "So I saw Simon earlier, so I could give him his jacket." And Waruche Opia, the actress that plays Terri, was so good in this scene. She looks so sad and so hurt and just guilty, ashamed. And Bella says, "Yeah, I saw Simon, I had to give him his jacket." And Terry's like, "Oh, what did Simon say?" And then it's like quiet. And Terri says, "I'm sorry." And at the same exact time that Terri says, "I'm sorry," Bella says, "You're amazing. You've been an amazing friend, the way you've been taking care of me all year. And, you know, I just love you." And they have their drinks and they say "Your birth is my birth, your death is my death." That's dysfunctional, okay? But we won't get into that right now because this video is long enough. So they toast each other and they drink. And it's in this moment that I was like, okay, so not only is Bella saying to Terri, "I know what you did," she's also saying, "I love you and I forgive you. I forgive you for what you did." You know, she's seen the anger, she's seen the rage that she's had against other people harm herself. It's like it has only, excuse my stuttering, it has only hurt her, like, right? So when you forgive somebody for hurting you, you're not only absolving them, but you're also helping yourself. Like the forgiveness practice is not so much about the person who's being forgiven It's about the person who is doing the forgiving, right? Because to hold on to that hatred and that anger and that disappointment towards another person is a burden. You know, it's something that can weigh down your spirit. So instead of holding on to that, it's, especially if it's someone that you know truly loves you and that you love, and what they've done is an honest, non-malicious mistake, the best thing to do is offer grace and forgive, right? Now, I know there's a lot of Terri hate out there, but I, for one, feel like Terri is a good friend to Bella. They've been friends for over a decade. Terri has been down for Bella in more ways than one. Terri actually cares about Bella. Terri loves Bella. And true, she might have been overcompensating out of guilt, but I really don't think that what Terri did means that the friendship should end. I don't think it was an unforgivable mistake. It wasn't intentional. It wasn't on purpose. Terri did not know that Bella was going to get assaulted that night. Terri did not want Bella to get assaulted. It was not a setup. It was an accident. It was a mistake. It was a horrible moment. She made a bad choice that resulted in a horrible moment for her friend. And I think Bella realized that and forgave her. I'm going to forgive you. I'm going to have both of us let go of this burden and the hurt and trauma of this moment. I'm going to release us both by just telling you that you're amazing and I love you. Now, when they say your birth is my birth, your death is my death, I find that very toxic and very codependent. But I think in essence what it means is that I love you and I care for you and you are the most important person to me. Whatever happens to you happens to me. So me forgiving you means I'm forgiving myself, right? So that's how I see it. And it was worthy and it was beautiful, and I feel like the whole theme for this episode was forgiveness and grace, right? That scene when Bella dishes out food for her father, I feel like that scene was also about forgiveness and grace. Coming to the terms of the fact that my father is, as I wrote here, a manipulative, gaslighting piece of trash who does the absolute least. Bella realizes that her father is trash and he is who he is, and there's nothing she can do about that. He's her father, and she's going to have love for him, and he has love for her in some kind of way, and trying to expect more out of him at this point is pointless. So the idea is to just forgive him for his past hurts and his mistakes, and just kind of like move on and try to just find whatever peace that she was looking for from that relationship, try to find it in other ways. That's what was going on. That's what I think was going on in that moment. So, you know, the episode ends on Bella's mom, and she's got this kind of smile on her face. She's got this kind of expression on her face. I'm not sure what it is, but I felt really bad for her mom, because not only are you dealing with this co-parent that's an absolute waste of space, but you just found out your daughter was assaulted, and like it's your birthday, you know? So I felt bad for her mom. I feel like that was a sad moment, and I hope that we get to see her character again in a much more peaceful, happier mental space. So, you know, so I didn't do scene by scene, but this video is still longer than it needs to be. But I'm going to talk about my hurts, my 4 hurts, my 4 heals, and my favorite thing about this video. So, about this episode. So, hurt number 1, I've said it enough times, Bella's dad, Kojo, hurtful. There is a type of abuse that's called emotional neglect, and he is the king of that shit. So dad is a manipulating, gaslighting fuckboy. Hurt number 2, Aunt Lenora, lying, shady, scummy friend. Hurt number 3, mom's birthday dinner was filled with some bullshit. Hurt number 4, Terri didn't get to tell her herself about the conversation she had with Simon on the night of the assault. And I actually have a tiny, tiny 5th hurt, which is Kwame. Kwame's behavior was reckless and dangerous. Any one of those guys could have been another horny man 808. He was putting himself at risk by hooking up with so many dudes back to back to back. So, my 4 heels. Tyrone, all right? Tyrone came through with the healthy, hearty plate of food and the sweet mojito. Tyrone is a heel, baby. Tyrone. If there are any Tyrones out there, holla at me in the comments, okay? Let a sister know what you're working with. Let a sister know what you got cooking in that kitchen and what type of cocktails you got going on at the bar. All right, at your home bar. Heel number 2. Bella told her mom what happened. Now, even though I don't like the fact that she told her on her birthday, I like the fact that she told her mom, because a lot of times when we have really hard traumatic experiences, we don't want to tell our parents because we feel like we don't want to upset them or we don't want to scare them. But our parents have a right to know about the good and the bad things that go on in our lives, so they can give us that parental support. It's their responsibility. It's their duty to do that. And we see a lot of movies and a lot of TV shows where kids and adults go through really hard things and really horrible things, and their parents never find out until it's too late. So I really like the fact that Bella told her mom, this happened to me. And I think it was one of those things where now your mom can support you in your therapeutic process, in your self-care process, and also maybe offer you some words of wisdom, some words of healing, and just kind of check in with you to make sure you're okay. So Bella telling her mom was a heel. Heel number 3, Simon gets his jacket back. So get that clutter and that toxic item out of the house and away from you, Bella. Good job. And close that chapter out. And also the fact that Simon got kicked out of his crib, I think is a heel, because it shows that, the bad guy, one of the bad guys in the story, suffers some consequence for his behavior, and people should suffer consequences for bad behavior. So there's that. And then heel number 4, which is major. Bella finds out about Terri, and Bella forgives Terri. The forgiveness. Forgiveness is healing. Forgiveness is healing. Okay? And then my favorite thing about the episode is, if I haven't said it enough times, is the theme of forgiveness and grace. I think one of the special things about forgiving people and seeing an example of what forgiving a person looks like is you can put yourself in the position, not so much of the person who's doing the forgiving, but put yourself in the position of the person who's being forgiven, right? Put yourself in the position of the person who's made that mistake, who's made that fatal mistake. Like, we're all flawed. That's the beauty of this show, is that it's showing us flawed, authentic characters. So let's put ourselves in Terri's position, and let's think about a time in our lives where we've done something that has hurt someone that we love, someone that we care about, and it was totally an accident. It was totally just happenstance. It was totally just bad judgment, a bad judgment call, right? And we've just felt so bad. And that person, we've gone to that person and we've said, I did this to you and I'm so sorry. And the person that we've said that to says, I forgive you. Think about how good that feels, right? When that person says, I forgive you because I know that you love me and I love you, and I know that you would never do something to hurt me, right? And even though I'm adding a whole lot more to it, I feel like that scene is part of what that represents, right? So the forgiveness and the grace. That theme of forgiveness and grace is my favorite thing thing about the episode, as well as the music. That Kamasi Washington, that My Family that was playing, and that ooh, ooh, that's why we work. And now the good Lord worked at the beginning. That music, the whole soundtrack for this show has been lit, and I'm definitely going to be making some Spotify playlists inspired by the series, so look out for those. But yeah, I think that's it, and this video is just as long as the other one, so I guess it's just going to have to be what it is. If you've made it through the entire video, please drop a gold star in the comments and let me know if anything hurt you in this episode. Let me know if anything healed you. Were there any triggers for you? Let me know what you think about my theory about how our parenting units affect the way we relate and fall into relationships and friendships with other people. And look for the link in the description box for the finale watch party happening on August 24th. And I think that's it. All right, y'all. So thanks so much for hanging in there with me. I look forward to your comments. I look forward to your feedback. And I'm wishing you all lots of love, peace, and mucho, mucho healing.